Good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is a pre-market webinar for Monday, the 2nd of December. My disclaimer: I do this for educational purposes only. I'm going to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing to learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right? Okay, we've seen a bit of a pullback overnight, mostly recovered, but basically all we managed in November was to go back and retest the high at the beginning of November. That's left us with, in part, really a wasted bullish month of bullish stats, and me wondering whether we're going to see much more upside in December. If we're not, then I would note that we've got a pretty damn nice looking double top here. And if we see a sustained break below the 58.50 area, this would have a target in the 56.50 area with a decent support level up here on the way in the 57.20. And we've now got some negative divergence on SPX. Not necessarily saying it's going to play out, but it might play out. We will see. NQ making a little progress towards a retest of this high here, but not a lot. Didn't see much of that progress last week. We haven't actually retested this late November high yet. We will see how that goes. RTY. RTY still had a sell signal here. It still hasn't reached the possible near miss target, and the same on YM. These two have both made good progress to the upside. Possible topping action here. RTY, we've got a pretty nice looking potential level top that could deliver. 60-minute sell signals I'm still expecting to play out, and I'm wondering if they're going to play out earlier this week. It's looking at DAX and STX. DAX has actually made the double bottom target to retest this high. This is, I think, an all-time high. So that's looking good. And ESTX, which has been much, much slower to get off the ground, is now finally breaking up from the potential double bottom there. And that's got targets up in about the 49.85 to 90 area, I think. So I'm wondering whether that's going to make target in a decent bullish push. We could see a decent push here, and I do have targets significantly higher. It's just that I kind of expected we would have made more progress on the way to those so far. What are those targets to the upside? On SPX, it's this trend line here, and I've got that in about the 6200 area. This is the channel that's been established, and this is the high we reached at the end of 2021, and which delivered a bull flag forming throughout 2022. I do not think this is likely to be the best year on the stock markets coming, and that would be a decent thing to be doing. Are we going to make it? We will see. But at the moment, obviously, we're still well short of it, and we didn't really make a lot of progress after the initial push-up after Trump won in November. We got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing, possible weak RSI 14 sell signal brewing. We've got a little sell signal that is barely noticeable, really, on the hourly chart on SPX. But you've got a nice looking double top here, which I am watching and taking as something which is potentially serious. To get through it, we would need to break through this breakaway gap resistance that I was talking about, but we haven't really pulled enough away from that for me to be thinking that there's no chance for a double top here. I think that double top could deliver. Qs still haven't gone back and retested the high yet. Didn't quite retest this trend line here, which I'm wondering about, and I'm thinking we may yet see. On Dia, nice move higher, no obvious double top here. I've got a couple of trend lines here that haven't been hit, and they could be. So on the hourly chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and that's not a bad one. Tiny amount of negative divergence on the daily RSI 5, which I really didn't mention because it's such a small divergence. I didn't think it was worth the mention. It's, so possible topping action here, but nothing that looks definite. In terms of the topping action here, we've got the best thing we've got, and really almost the only thing we've got, is on the SPX chart. We've got a little 2 on IWM, not a bad looking double top here. On the hourly chart, no current divergence, and on the daily chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed already. And if we retest this high here at 244.98, then we could see a possible daily RSI 5 sell signal brewing, but we haven't seen that yet. Looking at DAX, DAX is going to retest this all-time high, and on the bigger picture, I'm wondering if it might go higher. I do have a couple of trendline options I'm watching here. On the bigger picture, though, I did have a lovely trendline here, which held for years and years, which we have gone through. This could be a bearish overthrow, but I certainly wouldn't be assuming that. but I am wondering about it. Next year is likely to be a tempestuous one on the markets, I think. Nikkei, still kicking around below the daily middle band. This is something that you saw very much anywhere that wasn't in the US. There wasn't really a spike on Trump winning anywhere outside the US. So really, in terms of bullishness, we haven't really seen a bullish November anywhere else. And on the American charts, really on SPX, we only just managed a retest of the post-Trump high, and we didn't even manage that on NDX. So we will see. All right, looking at the DX chart, I'm thinking we may well have a retest of the high coming. I would note that it doesn't look like it on here because obviously the features are a little different. But on the index chart, we actually have a very nice three-touch trend line. I'm wondering if it might head back to resistance. On ZB, we finally got some action on this double bottom that I was looking at for much of the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we will and we've broken up, and I'm thinking we might make the target, which I've got in about the 121, 24 to 26 area. On CL, still kicking around under the new weekly pivot and monthly pivot. Published all the new weekly and monthly pivots yesterday, of course. Still wondering about that target at 63.57. Not really making much progress against it. NG, we've got a nice looking bull flag forming here, but the next obvious move would be a test of resistance. We didn't quite make that last week. We've been seeing spiky moves every day here, 5% up, 5% down. Watching this with interest, but it's the price is in a headwind the next couple of months, and also on the bigger picture charts, we've reached a potential inverted head and shoulder neckline, and we could see a right shoulder form here into April, taking us down to about the 1.95 area before a larger move up begins. GC. Looks like it wants a retest of this little low here. It looks more encouraging elsewhere. SI, that's a pretty nice looking double bottom. Hasn't broken up yet, but it's nice. Sustained break up over 32 could get us back up into about the 34 area. On HG, I've been looking for a retest of this low here. We haven't quite seen it yet, but it's thinking about it. We will see. Looking at the Euro. Euro, again, we could be forming an IHS here, but I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this low. But if this turned back up hard, this could be an IHS breaking up. GBP USD, possible bottoming action. USD JPY, possible topping action. USD CAD, this one's an interesting one because when there was much talk of tariffs last week, this spiked up and we got a really nice looking double top. Watching that with interest, but that would require the dollar to go down. Australian dollar, nice looking potential double bottom. NZ, potential bottoming action, nothing particularly clear. KC, we've been seeing a bit of a nice retracement here. I'm leaning towards 300 holding. I was mentioning this in the bigger picture webinar yesterday. We're getting back to it. Monthly pivot is at 298. I would be surprised to see it get below that. And that would be a sign of a larger retracement in my view. Sugar has been in this likely bullish consolidation, but not particularly well formed. That's been going on for about 10 weeks now. On CC, seeing a little bit of a retracement. Got a 60-minute sell signal fixed, which really hasn't delivered anything so far. We did retest the high. I was looking to retest in the 9,000 area, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this go higher. Looking at CT. CT, we've got a nice move up, which is now retracing. I am wondering about a lower low on CT. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. We had a sell signal that's now made target. Looking at ZW, nice looking double bottom, nice looking bull flag on corn, nice looking double bottom on soy, but I'm wondering about just a little lower on all of them. But we could have a point where all the grains could turn up at that stage. Lumber still looks like a bull flag forming. Lean hogs still live cattle still leaning towards seeing a retest of this high here at about the 190.4 area. And lean hogs has gone higher. Look at a bit of a retracement here, but nothing really suggests a big reversal. All right, let's just have a quick look at questions and a recap on ES. Okay, it's the start of December here. We've had quite a lot of our bull window, and we've not really done a great deal with it so far. I'm wondering if we're going to. I was thinking that the markets would get a lot more unsettled after Trump took office, but of course he's occupying quite a lot of the news now. There is an awful lot of talk of tariffs, and that's a a real market mover. This could be a huge impact for next year. It could move individual companies in a big way. It could affect general confidence in the stock market. It could very much affect inflation and interest rates, and it's liable to be a very big destabilizer next year. If we are going to get a head start on that, then we could actually start seeing significant downside this year, and I wouldn't be astonished to see this double top play out, so I am watching out for that. If we see a sustained break below the monthly pivot at 59.45, that would be a pointer that we might be about to play out this double top. So watching that with great interest. All right, great. My pleasure as always, guys. I will have everything posted as soon as possible.